What's up, everybody? It's Instructor Smiley. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video today. Today we're going to be talking about Holosun's new optic, the 507 Comp. This is their new competition optic that was just released about a month and a half ago. Full transparency, shout out to Holosun. Thank you guys for sending me this optic for review. Let's jump into it. So, for the last couple of years, you guys are probably familiar with this optic being the go-to. This is the Trijicon SRO. The Trijicon SRO made waves in competition shooting with the size of its window. Larger window means more information, it means easier target transitions, and a ton of other benefits. After that, you've seen the Romeo 3 Max. The Delta Point Pro has always been a good option for competition shooting, but Holosun, not moving into this market, obviously just jumped in. And as they jumped in, they made a huge statement. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about some of the features. I'm gonna give you guys my overview, but if you guys don't wanna watch the whole video, it's a great optic, buy it. Definitely you're gonna get the best bang for your buck and probably the best features out there in a competition optic. But let's go ahead and dive right into it. So the 507 competition's largest feature right now would have to be their 1-inch window. Again, like I said earlier with the SRO, large window has a ton of benefits in competition shooting, allowing you to target or transition to targets faster, gain more information through your optics, so on and so forth. In my experience, it's allowed me to be a lot more target focused because I'm not getting sucked in. For a while, I was competing with the 509T, and I felt like the optic itself was allowing me to get sucked in, and I could not decipher from being target focused or sight focused, and I wasn't a fan of it. I have not had that issue here with the 507 Comp. Other features I want to talk about, one of the better ones is their competition reticle system. So you guys are typically used to Holosun having multiple reticles. They normally have their large donut with the 2 MOA dot in the center, which is also on this, but they've gone a little bit further. So let's go ahead and dive into that. So you have your 2 MOA dot, right? Everybody's familiar with that. When you guys are using RMRs, Delta Point Pros, you're typically going from a 2 or a 325 MOA to a 6 MOA. Holosun, again, pushing the envelope. You have your crisp 2 MOA dot. For competition shooting, I was never really a fan of it. It washed out a lot on target. I felt like I was losing it and I was searching for it. So I wasn't a fan of that. Holosun said, okay, let's go ahead and fix that. Then they added 3 more reticle options. So you have the 2 MOA dot, then you have an 8 MOA circle. And the 8 MOA circle kind of looks like a horseshoe. It's coming down and there's a little bit of space in between. That is because you can combine the next 2 ones I'm gonna tell you with the 2 MOA dot. So you have the 8 MOA circle, you have a 20 MOA circle, and you have a 32 MOA circle. That's 4 reticle options by themselves. You can also combine them with the 2 MOA dot. So you can have 2 8, 2 20, or 2 32. Personally, myself, I don't like too much going on in my window. The 8 MOA for me has been perfect. My SRO is a 6 MOA and I felt like it was amazing. It was great. It was large enough for me to go ahead and acquire my targets, make the shot, call the shot, and go on. The 8 MOA is even better for me. It's slightly larger, right? It's not like the 20 MOA. The 20 MOA is almost too big for me. It's kind of masking my target. So even being target focused, I can see it. But then again, talking about having stuff going on in the window, it's a little bit busy for me. So I wasn't a fan of the 20 or the 32. That may differ for you, but again, you have those options. You don't have those options with a lot of these other optics, so that was huge. Aside of that, so those are the 2 biggest things for me. You have the window, you have the reticle options, those were amazing. But back to some of the regular features, right? You have 50,000 hours battery life, which is pretty standard. You have 2 decently sized large buttons. They're not as large as the SRO, which, take that as you will. Some people want huge buttons because they're firing at night or with gloves on. This is a competition optic. I don't foresee myself doing that at all. Another thing Holosun did, they made it at a 7075 T6 aluminum, which is one of the tougher materials. So you're gonna have that durability. And then let's just look at the shape of it, right? It's that square that we're used to for the most part. It's a large square, so I'm gonna assume that you're gonna have a much durable optic compared to the SRO or the Delta Point Pros. We've seen those break. But even with that being said, everything has a lifespan, so everything's going to break at a point in time. I have not dropped my 507 yet. I don't think many of the people will. Again, most of us don't want to drop optics. And this isn't typically, this is not a duty optic, obviously. It's the 507 competition. So it is catered and geared towards competition shooting. In my experience though, from looking at it and understanding how these optics work, I don't think it's gonna break easily. Again, if you're out there with a hammer or you're dropping it from 80 feet onto concrete, yeah, it's probably gonna break. It has its lifespan. But besides that, it's super solid. It uses a 1632 battery. It is a side loading battery, which most of us like. The top loading batteries are cool, but the side loading battery is money in my opinion. And aside that, it has the RMR footprint, which again, industry standard. So when you're talking about pricing and when you're talking about buying these optics, right, going left, going right, up or down, trying to figure out which optic you want to purchase, take into consideration these features, right? On top of that, look at the price. I had recently got my SRO, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, 4 to 6 months ago, and I paid $500. That was after me literally looking all over the internet to not pay $600 because that's typically what they are, and I did not want to buy it secondhand. Aside that, you have your Delta Point Pro, which is about $400, and then your Romeo 3 Maxes, or your Romeo Maxes, which I'm hearing are upwards of $600. Your Holosun 507 comp is coming in at $370 to $400, which you can probably find cheaper, again, if you do what I do and scour the internet. That's unbeatable at this point, right? So when you look at your kit and when you look at what you're wanting to run, go ahead and run it. Buy it. I guarantee you, you will love it. Now, caveat, right? Because I'm going to give you good with the bad. There are some people, and some people have reported in, some of my close friends that are running this optic, that they think it is too big for them, that they feel like they're getting too much information inside the glass, and that they are still losing their dot, or they're just not being able to transition because there's too much going on. That could be your issue. For someone like me, I haven't had that issue at all. I like the larger window. I like having all that extra because for me, when it's time to target transition, if you guys know competition shooting, you know, eyes move, gun follows. With that large optic, it's really easy for me to see where my next target is because of how large the window is. Again, that 8M away from me is butter. You guys will see the B-roll as I'm talking about this. Everything on this optic is great. I do think the 507 comp is going to take over the market here in competition shooting next couple months. It already has for many people. You see some of the Grandmasters in USPSA running it, like Isaac Lockwood, Trayvon Barber's running it. You see a lot of people running it because it is better, all right? There's not much else I have for you guys. Again, thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you think. What are your concerns? What are your comments? You know, drop them down below. Again, if you guys ever need to reach out to me, you guys can. I'm on Instagram, and I will respond to your comments on YouTube. Parallel Defense on Instagram if you're looking for me. Ask me any questions. Like, comment, subscribe. You guys have a great one. Thanks for watching.